Hi. Due to the COVID-19 outbreak, restaurants are being hit by a dramatic decline in sales and could quickly run short of cash to run day-to-day operations and support staff wages. Biztrends TV show is here to have a conversation on the back of this with the Executive Vice Chair of N8TIVE Bar. She's in the person of Adobia AEC. Before then, Biztrends is proudly brought to you by NPRA Data Bank, Leap Tomato Paste, and J&G Insurance Brokers. My name is Enyonam. Let's go for a quick break. I'll be right after this.
Tomato paste when I would eat, I don't want to leave tomato paste in Ghana. Ah!
Aha! This is what I call Adriane.
Secret na LEAP. Leap. Someone named a leap tomato paste Adriane there. It was superb and palatable taste. Na esu biaso. There were large and small sizes for chop bars, restaurants, and enfie.
For bulk purchase, contact 033-2095-314 or 050-141085.
Right, so welcome back from that quick break. It's still Biztrends. Go on our social media platform and share your thought with us, especially if you're an industry person. Adobia, thanks for joining me on Biztrends.
Thank you for having me.
When you find out about the president lifting of the ban on social gatherings and also giving you some restrictions or some regulations to follow and start operation, as a restaurant owner, how did that sound for you?
Well, it was a cause for concern. You know, because the ban on social gatherings meant that our sitting customers were not going to be coming again. We couldn't operate sitting. People can't come in here and sit and eat. Right. That was the first thing. And then also, people book this place for events. And that meant that ban on, social gatherings, people cannot come and book this place for events. And these are the areas that we derive revenue from. Okay. So it was a cause for concern.
How did you strategize during the early days of the outbreak?
Yeah, the news was a bit sudden and was getting to the end of the month. So when it happened, we decided, I know we were part of the group that could operate, but we decided to take the whole of April off, so we closed down to re-strategize and revitalize ourselves. So we just had to sit down and think of this new normal situation, what are we going to do? So the re-strategizing, started with operational re-strategizing. We looked at also how best can we do effective product development. Right. And then our marketing, and then rebranding. So those were the areas that we re-strategized.
Awesome. The pandemic had an adverse effect on businesses and patronage. But then, how different is the story now that the restriction has been eased?
Okay, so like I mentioned, the walk-ins, all right? And the pandemic meant that zero walk-ins, so nobody was coming. Now the restrictions are lifted. We find that with our re-strategizing, we put more emphasis on deliveries. So because social distancing and all of that. So 80% of what we are doing now is deliveries. Okay. 20% is, sitting. Walking. Right. Now before it was a reverse. Okay. Okay. It was 80% walk-ins, 20% delivery. Now, Then, but the concept of people having their events and that one was zero then. Now it's crawling in because people are not really comfortable because it's still no mask, no entry. So whatever event you're doing, everybody should be masked. And then the social distancing thing. And so it is also a bit uncomfortable. So that is crawling in. It's not zero, but the bookings are not really coming, okay? Before COVID, I mean, during the pandemic, there was this high cost of, you know, food prices and all that. That is still there.
Okay.
That one is still there.
Right.
You know, so we are trying to find strategies in which, you know,
to best serve your client.
Yeah.
Right. The tourism minister did mention that the hospitality industry is losing close to $171 million US as a result from April all the way to June. That is how much they are projecting that the industry is going to lose. Now, with regards to laying off staff, has that been the same thing with N8TIVE Bar?
Well, we took a decision not to lay off any of our staff, okay? We sort of, with them, we did the re-strategizing and all that so that they own whatever it is that we are introducing. And so, you know, the kind of corporate culture we have, we work as partners with our staff. So when they own it and when they know that they are all helping to ensure that we come out of this thing. So we took a conscious decision not to lay off any of our staff. And
in that case, was there a pay cut? Because those companies that made decisions not to lay off staff had informed them, okay, we are taking a 30% off the 100% salary so we can maintain you and not lay you off, or you go home. So since you decided to keep them, did you cut?
Well, it depends on the company because we have a very lean staff.
Okay.
Okay, and I said earlier that the whole of April we were home, you know. So no salaries then, there was an agreement for that.
Right.
So when we came back, and because of the re-strategizing and everything, we've all put our heads together to do this thing and make it work.
Right.
So it's a teamwork, sort of. So it wasn't like, we haven't done any deduction because the strategies that we put in place, by God's grace, they are working.
Okay.
So,
right. So things have been okay for you.
I always like to look at the positive side of things.
Right.
Yeah, there are some negatives. I'm sure we'll talk about that. But you know, you have to conscientize yourself to be positive. You know, because you have to come out of this thing. Business has to run. So your mindset is very necessary. And as your leader too, you have to pull your team together. So if you start, you know, really thinking about the negatives, you can do that. So I always want to look at the
positive side. Now, government has introduced stimulus packages to ease the pressure that the COVID, outbreak came with. As a business person, have you made attempts to apply for that?
Oh, I have finished applying.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
How was the process for you?
The
Many
process
have different.
Initially, I think there was some sort of testing going on, because when you queue
Try and error?
Yeah, when you queue in certain things, then it bounces back and says that you are not qualified and all that. That phase came to pass. Then another phase came in. I think I heard, that mentioned that was testing. So another phase came in. And now we've done, we've finished, going through the process, and it was successful.
Right.
So now, when you finish going through the first few processes, then you have to wait for them to contact you. You have to wait. So that's the stage.
So now you're waiting to hear from them.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. I mean, to make an attempt of applying, I wish you all the best.
Oh, yeah.
That you get it. Now, let's talk about the restaurants itself. When the name N8TIVE Bar comes to mind, what should I think about?
Okay. Let me just try and take you back a bit.
Okay.
Why we formed this, we had this concept, that at the time we established 2017, healthy was not popular. Because you had all these fast foods coming up and everybody so healthy was not really popular.
Okay.
We had one of our former co-owners who used to work in the hospitality industry. Right. And she brought this concept that there was a gap in there. I mean, everybody was doing fast food and all that. And so we thought it was a good idea. So we all, resonated with that idea. So initially, N8TIVE Bar was the bar.
Okay.
It was like just smoothies,
a juice,
salads,
right.
juice. Then with time, as we had the Ghanaian customers, you know, they requested for more local food. You know, because the Caucasians will come, salad and everything is food for them, but Ghana is not food, you know. So we took in all those, and then now it is something like a restaurant and a cafe. So we are doing the Ghanaian, healthy Ghanaian and continental. We're doing the salads, we're doing fresh salads, we're doing the snacks, the juices, the smoothies, and local snacks. So that is
it's a one-stop shop, if I should say. Viewers, you're still watching Biztrends Show. My name is Enyunam. Today I'm having a conversation with the Executive Vice Chair of N8TIVE Bar, Adobia AC, and she's telling us about the COVID, you know, the innovative ways they're adopting to run business, and also what's positive and negative that the outbreak, you know, came along with. I'm going for a quick break. I'll be right back after this. Stay with me.
When you've worked hard for your money, you want to make sure you're investing it with the right company. And when you need your money, it will be there for you. As Ghana's leading investment bank, Data Bank has been helping Ghanaians achieve financial independence since 1990. At Data Bank, you can purchase mutual funds, treasury bills, or shares. We're one of Ghana's leading pension and provident fund managers.
Backed by our world-class research team, Data Bank has a proven track record of strong performance and good corporate governance. Knowing where to invest is key. Invest wisely, invest with Data Bank.
Welcome back from that quick commercial break. It's still Biztrends Show. Remember, you can go on our social media platform and share your thought with that, especially if you find yourself in the industry we are talking about. Adobia, how difficult or easy is it for you to start off a business in this sector, the hospitality industry? I heard, you know, the requirements are a lot. I mean, how did you go through the process?
Yeah, I mean, it's not really easy. People will think that, you know, because it's food and everybody eats food, you know, it's easy. But there are so many things that come into play. Yes, there are a whole lot. It's very exorbitant, you know, to start, because there are a whole lot of fees. You have to pay fees to so many agencies, Ghana Tourism, AMA, Ayawasu West Municipal. You do it, you finish, you do the health certificates for all your staff. You know, it's a lot. Okay. And so if you don't know and you come in without doing a lot
you get frustrated.
Due diligence,
I see.
You will be frustrated. Yeah.
So one would ask, I mean, there are a lot of business owners who watch this show. Most of them get to learn, you know, how to start this business, what to look out for and all that. Would you say the hospitality industry, specifically, let me restrict it to a restaurant or a hotel, running is a profitable venture?
Profitable, all things being equal, it should be profitable. But a lot of things come into play if you do it right. First of all, what really is your vision? Is it driving you? Do you have something that is driving? If it's just, look, I'm just doing this thing, you know, food, and that is it. When crises like COVID and things come, you just collapse. Okay, so you have to have something that drives you. You're doing something that is a niche. You are in it, you know, it's driving you. That is one. Two, in terms of human resource, the restaurant industry is an industry where there are lots of, you know, the turnover with staff, it's rampant. You have them coming in and out because attitude problems. You know, it's so you find yourself, especially when you want to create that kind of culture ethical culture and everything. You cannot condone a lot of things. So you see that you train somebody, they come in for a short time, you look at the attitude, they have to go. Until, if you are somebody, because of your vision and everything, you want to have a corporate culture that drives things, you keep letting them go until you get a core team that can fit into your
understand the mission and vision.
Yeah, so that can be a bit
driving at.
frustrating.
Right.
But if you have a vision, that essentially, those are some of the things that you have to do. Capital intensive too.
Okay.
You have to prepare for that. You have to, because sometimes there are a whole lot of mishaps. You know, no lights and all the food in your freezers gets spoiled, and you have to have some. You can't say you don't have money. You know, sometimes customers don't show up. There are seasons in every business.
Okay.
You know, so you have to have capital there. You know, a whole lot of things. So there are shocks, but when you do it well, you know, there's some people who set up a business, 2-3 months time, they do everything well. After some time, they are relaxed, they don't do anything well.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. You have to be consistent in your quality. If it's consistent, then your customers trust you, and then you have more people coming in.
Awesome. From what I read about your profile, you have stayed, schooled, and worked in Nigeria before moving down to Ghana. Comparing this to African continent, what do you make of a business environment? What do you make of customer satisfaction, packaging, everything? In one word, how would you describe that?
Between Ghana and Nigeria?
Nigeria and Ghana. From the experience you've had there,
in Nigeria,
and what you have here in Ghana, what do you make of, what can we learn from them? What can you also learn from
You know, like I'm saying, I think with some of the things I learned from Nigeria is the aggression. Assertiveness and aggression. Whatever you have, make it work, make it stand out, be competitive. No matter the odds and no matter whatever happens, you know. And you find that in Ghana, people are a bit laid back, a bit, you know, and the push is not there too much, you know. So that's the difference. Innovation too, in terms, now it's picking up very well, but Nigerians are always, you know, trying to find opportunities here and always innovating and all that. But I think now Ghanaians are really picking up in that area, and so now it's getting so much better.
Great. I get it. We need to be a little bit more aggressive, I guess.
I think that it's necessary. That's where I learned my, you know, go-getting spirit from, you know.
There was one unique thing I identified the first time I walked into N8TIVE, but it has to do with your packaging. For instance, the bag in which you put your food, the bowl and everything. It's environmental friendly. And it's a bit different, totally different from what I see. What informed that choice of packaging for your food?
It lines up with a healthy brand. Okay, because the styrofoam, the white things that we all used to use, it's not too healthy. You know, when you put food in it and it's hot, the chemicals in that seep into it. So last year we went green. That is, we adhere to it being environmentally friendly. And so we have solar panel power here. And then our packaging, we decided that all our packaging will be eco-friendly. And so that informs this. We don't use polythene, we use the rubber, we use this. You know, it all lines up with the healthy brand. So when you come to N8TIVE, you know that the food you are eating is healthy, the packaging is eco-friendly, and the environment is serene and beautiful. So when you are eating, you are digesting well, and with a good environment and everything, the packaging and everything, it all has been carefully thought to, you know, all being part of our healthy brand.
The hospitality industry contributes a significant amount of money to Ghana's GDP. In this trying times for Ghana, after COVID-19, what would you suggest that government do, including the private stakeholders? How would we get the industry back on feet?
Well, you know, one of the things I think this stimulus package is so crucial. I think it should be something that should be standardized for SMEs. where we get loans,
Right.
but we are given a period of time to pay. It's flexible. You have a moratorium. You know, you pay in 2 years. You know, because we need an injection of capital. We've lost so much. And so we need an injection of capital to lift us up. And you know, SMEs form the backbone of the economy.
Exactly.
You know, so I think, for me, I think this sort of stimulus package should be standardized. You know, it should be something that
Even
is,
after COVID-19.
yeah,
Hey,
it's a
you people.
frequent thing that should be done. You know,
Right.
if so that more small SMEs come up knowing that.
Okay.
Because in developed countries, it's so easy for you to set up a company. And it's so difficult here. So this will propel a lot more people to do that. In the long run, the economy benefits.
Okay, right. On the issue of unemployment, you know we have a high rate of unemployment in Ghana, and a lot of startup or young people are trying to create businesses for themselves. But as much as we are trying to create business for ourselves, cut down the unemployment, what advice do you have for youths who are venturing into businesses? What should they look out for?
The youth who are unemployed,
Yes.
who are venturing into
Yes.
businesses.
Aspiring to become self-employed
You know,
people.
one thing I like to digress a bit from,
Okay, that's fine.
this whole unemployment
Right.
thing. Because when you've been an employer for a long time, the perception really is not that there are no jobs. We cannot find the right fit for the jobs.
Really?
Absolutely. I mean, I've done a lot of interviews, and our youth have this sense of entitlement thing. I have a degree. You have a degree, but you do not have experience. Now, how do you gain that experience? I feel that a lot of the time, volunteerism will make you gain experience. Supposing you're in school, you're in the tertiary institution, during the holidays, you can pick 3 companies. Go and volunteer and work there, free, because you are gaining work experience. By the time you are through the 4 years, you have gained work experience in about 4 or 5 companies. You can package it as your CV and go and look for a job. With that experience, you know, sometimes you are volunteering and somebody sees you and say, I'll hire you. So for me, going through a lot of interviews and everything, the attitude thing is such a demoralizing thing for a lot of business owners. The jobs are there. We are not getting the right fit. So
It's not about there isn't jobs,
their jobs
but the
are
right people.
there. They come with that kind of entitlement, performance. We cannot translate the theory into, and you are not humble enough to learn. You think, and I always advise people that your CV is not the paper, it's
Right.
you.
Okay.
I'm not looking for the paper, I'm
Right.
looking for performance.
Right.
And you have to translate
I
it.
see. That's an employer speaking right there. Executive Chair of N8TIVE Bank. I'm going for the investment tips brought to you by Data Bank. Take a look at that. We'll be back to talk a little bit more about N8TIVE Bank.
Okay, so investments are largely in 2 separate type of asset classes. So we have the fixed income and then we have the equities. When it comes to fixed income investing, I do not believe that the businesses closing down directly impacts on returns, because most of these returns or these asset classes are from Government of Ghana bills. If it is a company that has issued a corporate bond, then it's likely it's going to have an impact. But largely, most fixed income products are from the Government of Ghana. So the return will be impacted mainly depending on government policy. And as we've seen recently, the 91-day Treasury bill has been dropping slightly. And that is one example of how it can impact. However, if there's a corporate bond that has been issued and that corporate entity itself goes down, then we have a problem. Thankfully in Ghana, the corporate bonds we have not closed down and are actually working well. Then when we come to equities, Where a company is listed on the stock market and the company is really going down, it's likely that its stock price will also go down and thereby impact your returns. But in these COVID times, there are certain industries also that are now cashing in on the situation. And if they are listed on the market, their stock price is likely to go up. So an example of a company whose stock price could go up will be in the pharmaceutical industry, where there's a lot of demand for pharmaceutical products right now. There are even other companies who have had to change their production lines and are now producing things like hand sanitizers, which is an advantage. Unfortunately, if there's a company in hospitality, like in hotels, in airlines, then it's likely their stock price is going to take a beating. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Stella Ekwia-Korte, an Assistant Manager of the Corporate Affairs Department of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. This week on Pensions Brief, we are going to discuss what is the Consumer Protection Policy. The Consumer Protection Policy is a policy that seeks to protect the rights of the contributor in hit complaint resolution. The objective of the Consumer Protection Policy is to ensure that the consumer is educated and sensitized in the redress of his complaints to the fairness of the industry. It also ensures that there is enough mechanisms in the complaint resolution that does not put undue delay in the resolution of his complaint and also unnecessary cost to the contributor. Lastly, it also ensures that the contributor has enough resolution processes in the redress of his complaints. For further inquiries, kindly contact the National Pensions Regulatory on 0302 968692 or 3. Our toll-free number is 0800 766 000 and our email address is info@npra.gov.gh. Thank you.
Now, briefly before we wrap up, let's talk briefly about N8TIVE Bar, the kind of services you render, the days you work. Let's get to know more about it.
N8TIVE Bar is a healthy food solutions restaurant.
Okay.
We do Ghanaian and continental dishes, and the salads, the smoothies, and all that.
Right.
We run from Mondays to Saturdays, 7 to 8 p.m. We have different service. We have different packages for different target markets.
Okay.
We have packages for those who are, well, now we have people who are working from the home. We have packages for them. We have packages for workers.
Okay.
So we have discounts between a certain time. When you order or you come in here, you have a discount for the meals. We have packages for people who are health conscious. So we sit with them and do a diet plan with them. We have packages for families, you know, for everything. Everything is healthy.
Awesome. Awesome. Where do you see N8TIVE Bar in the next years to come?
N8TIVE Bar has an audacious vision. We want to go franchise. And so we are looking at doing N8TIVE Bar in all the regional capitals of the 16 regions of Ghana. When we finish, we are going to Africa. When we finish, we are going to the world. Yeah.
That's a big dream over there. Now, this is a competitive industry you find yourself. How well have you positioned yourself for sustainability and, of course, to be that attractive to a client to always want your service over your competitors?
Okay, so we focus on a lot on product development, constantly ensuring that the brand that is healthy is enhanced. So what we've done even post after COVID is that we've collaborated with a supplier who gets our food stuff straight from the farm, because we used to buy it from the open market, and sometimes, you know, health-wise and stuff like that. So we are getting a supply. So you know, the food is not just healthy when it's cooked, but even right from the source. So it's a constant trying to perfect the quality of what you offer. You know, so it's a consistent upping your game. And then the environment. We are, you know, Ghana-centric. You know, so you see, the environment, we also want to project Ghanaian artwork, so we turned our walls into a gallery to project some of the fantastic things that the Ghanaians are doing. So every time you walk in here, every month, we have a different artist who is here. And then, so because of all that, people like to use this place and book it for their events and all that. So we want to position ourselves as people who do things differently and do things in excellence.
Awesome.
Okay.
There's this call that people in the hospitality industry, or especially, there's no hospitality, it's for everybody who has made a donation during the COVID, stand a chance of getting some tax rebate. Have you heard of it, and are you planning to file for that? Because I know you've done some donations as well.
Yes, we done some donations to Nyaho Medical Center.
Okay.
I understand because I talked to my accountant.
Okay.
And he gave me that exposure that there is a clause in the GRA, this thing now. When you, so long as you have an evidence, if you have pictures, you have whatever, you can file for that.
I guess that's good news for you. So your final message to viewers, those who are aspiring to venture into the hospitality industry, young entrepreneurs in these trying times of COVID.
Right. So I think what will make you stand out is to find a gap, a niche, an unmet need, and go for it and make sure that consistently you stand out, your quality and your packaging and everything. That is what will drive you to make it in the market. N8TIVE Bar is a healthy food solutions restaurant. You need to come here. Our food is so healthy and so delicious.
Right.
And we cater for all your health needs. And now that the president is always saying that we have to boost our immune system, we are doing a whole range
of the right place for you to come.
Local, delicious meals. So this is the place to be. We welcome you to
Right. Okay, great. So let's perfect our act and of course find a gap and create a niche for yourself. Executive Vice Chair of N8TIVE Bar, Madam Adobia AEC. My name is Enyonam. Thank you for joining us on today's discussion around the tourism and hospitality industry during these trying times of COVID-19. Until next week, I'll come your way again with another powerful entrepreneur. Stay safe. If you don't have anything out there to do, don't go out. If you need to go out, wear your nose masks. I'll see you on the flip side. Until then, it's a bye for now, Adobia. Bye.